Well, hello guys. We are live with our 13th episode of the UnTacticos. I am Jito Joviho on Twitter, X. I'm with,
Hello, this is Ganesha. I am Ganesha.
yeah, so we are both Arsenal fans. So we are just going to discuss mainly Arsenal in the stream. And mainly it's going to be the two games, our game against City and our game against Newcastle, and also the all the injuries that piled up after and what we are looking at for the rest of the season and our game against Atletico in the UCL. So if you're new to this channel, please do subscribe to our channel. And if you'd like to join us in the panel sometime, please don't hesitate to reach out to either of us, me or Ganesha. We have one more guy, Raman, who hasn't joined us today in the stream. However, you can find all our handles in the description, mine, Ganesha's, and Raman's. So starting the stream. Um, so Ganesha, what are your thoughts on our games, both the games against City and Arsenal? We'll start with the City game. Loss against City. Disappointed. How is it?
Yeah, of course. I think it's a strange Arsenal team, right? It's like, and this is what we spoke of before the game as well, like before the City game. It's like you can't tell which Arsenal is going to turn up. But surprisingly, the City game, I think from an attacking perspective and from an intent perspective, we had more intent in the City game. But in the Newcastle game, we didn't have that intent after our first goal, and we won the second game and not the first game, where we I thought we actually turned a corner in the Man City game. We played actually better the football than we played weeks before that. But again, we played pretty normal football against Newcastle and we won. When we played good football, we lost. So this is the strange season for Arsenal, and I think it's a very unlike Arsenal performance, unlike Arsenal season. Again, just to reiterate, I think we have never been in semi-final in the Champions League and at top of the Premier League at the same time. This is a first for
Hmm.
us. So again, like if you played so many games and you can see the number of minutes, and maybe that's tiring the players. But so whenever you play a Pep side, I think it's less
Hmm.
about playing well, but and more about discipline, structure, and whether you can survive long enough to like impose yourself and attack. But I thought
Hmm. Hmm.
Arsenal actually showed a lot of maturity in that game. Out of position, we were still in compact. We didn't give a lot of chances. We didn't get dragged out too easily, because that's where City just dominates you. City did not dominate Arsenal, uh,
Hmm.
but I think going forward, I still felt we were a lot. I think we were a bit cautious, and that's where we are losing the momentum in the games. I think in transition we have to be a little bit more. I think we have to take a little bit more risks and try to be a little bit more innovative. And
Hmm.
that's see you could see that in the Newcastle game, right? Next game,
Yeah.
three short corners, and we were a little bit more inventive. And Eze got the space. First, Havertz got the space in the box, and then Eze got the space to score. And I think that's something that we have to start thinking more often now to break teams. I think break teams are just have figured us out in terms of our attack, and we need to be a little bit more inventive now.
Um,
But what
Coming to
what
the
what what are
actual,
your thoughts?
I
Like
mean,
in terms of
we had, yeah,
my question is
go on, go
more
on.
going from the perspective of online. I think there's a lot of criticism of the fans, both online and in the stadium, saying and a lot
Hmm.
of Arsenal fans, a lot of other fans, like not just Arsenal but rival fans, calling us a little bit more nervous, and the situation in Emirates is more nervy, and that is kind of creeping into our football. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, we are still getting, even I tweeted something like that. So we are still getting called like we are playing haram ball and all that. And I don't think we are playing bad football at all as long as we're getting the results. Coming to the City game, and we actually had multiple chances which we did not score. Even City had multiple chances that they did not end up scoring. So I think in these games, it's uh, whatever the style of football that we're playing is clearly working. And the online criticism, I mean, people need something to talk about. Otherwise, they'll not get the revenue. They will not get their followers. So whatever clicks,
Yeah,
whatever baits you can use, that's what they are doing. So I think right now we just need to let the results speak for itself. Just like how
yeah.
Harry Maguire said recently for United, Carrick is doing a brilliant job, and they are third now. Who would have expected United to go from where they are and where they are right now?
I think
So I
on
think,
that as well. I think that if you see, it's not just that Carrick has been doing well and United has been doing well, but if you see the entire top 10, it is
hmm,
so like you can't predict who will be in the top 5 at the end of the season. Even that is something that is unpredictable till now, because Chelsea was playing well initially and Liam Rosinia was looking good, and then that just continuous 6 losses. They lost to Brighton as well, and then traded places with them, and Brighton is now in that position, and Chelsea has moved down the table. But you never know. Like you in this is the best kind of like season after a long time that we had, where you can't predict the bottom 3. Of course you can predict the bottom 2, but
yeah,
you don't know
yeah.
which is the third team that's going to go down. And the same thing with top 3 as well. I think there's Liverpool again has started picking up points. I would not be surprised if Liverpool, I think it's on the same number of points as United, or a couple of points behind them. So
Oh,
you might
United
as
on
well
the
see
third spot.
Liverpool. Yeah,
Oh, I was
Liverpool as well
wondering, like,
might
yeah.
come to third spot. So I think that's
Makes
where
sense.
it's you see that the league has been very competitive, and that's something fun to watch. Of course, as an Arsenal fan, you want the victories to be clean, 3-0, 4-0, so that you can relax your way to the league title. But that seldom happens, right? So there are going to be nervy moments. It's going to be nervy for the fans. It's going to be nervy for the team, because this it's been long. It's been just 22 years, and that's kind of showing the pressure of that is showing on us.
Yeah. And also one team wanted to give a shout out to Sunderland. They were doing pretty well the first half of the season, and now they are like surviving. It's
Yeah,
like Nottingham Forest all over again.
yeah, true. I think
Well,
the entire conversation on their manager and him staying on for next season, all of those under consideration. I think that kind of is adding pressure, and a long season. I think injuries keep like it adds up somewhere, and you tend to
hmm,
have this season. They're having a relatively better season still. I think better than expected,
hmm,
so they will not be surprised. But the last out of, I think they lost 3 out of 5, which is something of a dampener on their form that they were having. But they've done very well against big teams, so which is also a good sign for a football team. And that's same with Bournemouth as well. I think they are also outperformed against better teams, because they are
hmm.
constantly looking to score goals.
Yeah. I'm coming back to the Newcastle game. We spoke about Eze, right?
Yeah.
The short corners, two shots, one of those Eze took with his left foot, and the other one which went in, he took it with his right foot. So how many players do we actually have who, uh, like, who are two-footed basically? How
I
often does
think
Saka do it? Martin, yeah, from our
no, I think
attackers, which one of those? Yeah, go ahead.
we don't have many who, like, Saka does play. He does score with both his foot,
Yes.
but his preferred is left, and the same with Martinelli. I think we had players like Santi Cazorla who could do it with both at a
Yep.
same level, which is very rare. I think even for Eze, I think that particular corner again, I think was so. First time when they took the short corner, I was like, "What are we doing? We have Gabriel in the box." But as I thought more about it, and I realized that if you see Newcastle is a big team. It's not a team that
Hmm.
you can dominate aerially. Like Dan Burn is
Right.
there, and like,
Yep.
so you it's not that easy to dominate them in the air. So I think this was something that was discussed on the training pitch and worked out on the training pitch, and it took some time for us to figure it out exactly. And I think we started playing mentally with their mind to pull them out of the box. And like, they were not expecting us to take shot. They were expecting
Hmm.
Gabriel and Saliba to pounce and try to score. But Eze getting that much freedom on the corner of the box, I think that was, and it was a beautiful goal,
Yeah.
a beautiful finish. I think
He's
these are the
his
goals
approach
that
act. Yeah, yeah,
No, I think we all, but I think after the goal again, I think it was like again handbrake on. I think that's something that, and I don't know whether it's coming from Mikel Arteta or whether this is just in the team that they want to play with that cautious or like kind of an approach where they just want to keep the ball and be. Newcastle didn't have many chances, of course.
hmm.
So the game was still, how much ever the pundits and everybody fans say about the kind of football, it was we trying to score goals and Newcastle defending
That's it.
and didn't
Yeah,
it didn't happen.
yeah. Actually, speaking of the Eze thing, his catalog of goals for us, they are all like bangers. It's like Jaka all over again.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
yeah,
uh, coming to the same game, our counter attack, Gyökeres, he was trying to cross the ball in the 92nd minute. He was trying to cross the ball and it got intercepted. What do you think? Like,
my
should
my first thought
Gyökeres as a
there
striker?
was, as soon as I saw that impact, I was like this, and I was watching it with a couple of friends, and like we were just having. One of them is a Spurs fan, and other is a Fenerbahce fan, and I was watching with them, and I was like, and as soon as I saw the impact, I was like, this is a red card. He's the last line of defense. But if you see technically, it was a bad tackle by Pope, and he has done it in the past, and you can see why they want to change him. Uh, but I think that the Newcastle defender, was slightly ahead, slightly behind him, and that
Yeah,
was
yeah,
lucky for them. But again, it was a goal scoring opportunity, and it was the last line of defense. It's touch and go. I think Mikel was very clear on it being a red card, and he was talking about the same incident with Kusanov doing against Havertz, and it was 1-1
hmm.
against Manchester City, and we could have had a
Yeah,
penalty there as well. So of course these are small margins, and these are happening, and these are going against us. The luck will turn, and sometimes we'll also get the better side of
yeah,
it, and we'll start getting decisions our way. But for me, I think
yeah.
initially my initial thought was it's a
Clear
red
red
card.
card. Yeah.
Yeah, because
I'm
he did
actually,
tackle him,
and I'm
and
put take him down. I'm actually
yeah,
talking about the other instance where Gyökeres was trying to cross the ball in the middle during a counter attack in the 92nd minute, and that
that
got
was.
intercepted.
Yeah, I think that can
So
happen. I think that can happen. But I think the problem, and if we have seen Arsenal play for the last, like especially in the 2000, like 2010s, the last decade, and I would say there have been a lot of instances where we have been very effective in terms of those kind of crosses, and it has worked for us in terms of scoring goals. And on a like in against a Conte or a Mourinho kind of team, we have lost points also because we were doing that kind of expressive football, and we gave away the ball cheaper, and the counter happened. But again, then you can't. So if you don't want to do those passes, then don't expect a team to score more goals. Either you say your team, you
mm,
expect a team to score more goals and do those, like those kind of Hollywood passes that Bruno Fernandes is popular for. Bruno Fernandes will do a lot of those passes, and that's why he has so many assists. But one has to think that out of those successful passes, there are a lot of unsuccessful ones as well, which can cause problem for the team, and it does cause problem for Manchester
mm,
United. So when you laud them for their something that works for them, you have to take the criticism for, like, sometimes you just have to take the hit and say, okay, we tried, we wanted to score more goal, and this just backfired, and they scored us on the counter. So, do you want to win games or do you want to be Hollywood?
I mean, this one here a lot of space actually. You would expect a professional football to make that pass, but yeah, I get your point, and I'm with you on this one.
No,
Uh,
I think
coming
I
to
think he also wanted to make it. I think
yeah,
my point is more on the intent, because technically,
yeah,
of course, these are all good footballers. On their
yeah,
given day, they can do it. So, do you doubt that he can't do it on another day? He can, of course, he can.
he can.
But it's just in that moment when you lose the ball there, and
Hmm.
you're obviously susceptible to a counter. So that's the
Yeah,
worry that I have, and that's where I am also on the favor of cautious attack and
hmm.
effective football that we are playing, because that's working for us.
Yeah. And moving on to our injury list, what do you think? Like Havertz, as we know, Athletic shared a very nice article about how crucial Havertz is to our attack and why Mikel loves using him. up front.
I think he
And
just gives
yeah,
us so much of a versatility. Like he because of how he drops into the midfield, and
yeah,
that's something that we don't get from Gyökeres. Because if Gyökeres drops deep, he's not effective in the. So these are two different kind of. I would love to see them play together actually, and I've been strong
hmm,
believer that we need both of them to be like two striker for
on
making
the
breaking
pitch.
this goal drought that we have. We need two striker approach
Basically, basically the Bergkamp and Henry kind of role.
kind
Havertz
of
being
thing.
the
Yeah.
Bergkamp, and yeah, fair enough.
Havertz
Um,
coming in deep and trying to feed into Gyökeres, and I think that can work.
hmm,
I think that's the kind of equation that's happening between Eze and. I was happy to see Eze on the wing and trying to
Odegaard in the middle.
make that work. Yeah, yeah. Odegaard is our like you can see how good of a leader he is, and he's a different
Hmm,
kind of leader.
hmm,
He's not the guy who will keep shouting on the pitch
yeah,
like Roy Keane, but he is a more like he is there. He has the presence of mind to be when to defend and when to attack. And I think that's Mikel. Basically, he's controlling the game. And I think once
hmm,
Odegaard starts, I think this is the biggest thing that we are having. That injuries, this injuries list.
yeah.
Odegaard start stop season. Saka start stop season. Again, Havertz start stop season. We have missed. We have not realized, but Timber hasn't played for us from March 14th.
Hmm.
Like he is a guaranteed starter for us, and we are missing.
But
So we seem
we need to have him fit for the more crucial games, right? So yeah,
I don't know.
if he's not fully,
He's out for the Atletico game. I don't
hmm,
know whether he's going to be back next the Premier League weekend. Still doubtful, but I'm hoping that he's back soon because he
hmm,
White is good. I think this is the problem, right? And somebody was on one of the WhatsApp channels. We were talking, and somebody said uh, White was injured last season, and Timber played the entire season, and then the season before that,
yeah,
Timber was
hmm,
injured and White played the entire season. We
hmm,
never have enough. We are never enough
yeah.
backup at
We never,
fullbacks.
yeah,
So
yeah.
my
But
question was, what is the right level of fullbacks that we should have?
we right now have enough fullbacks to be honest. Like eight world beaters we have over there. If a starting four are not good enough, our backup four are like equally good enough. Sorry, what did I say? But yeah, uh, but I think Mosquera will get the job done. I'm sure about that. Do you have any worries regarding like Havertz now being injured? Martinelli as well. Eze, I think it wasn't really an injury. He
So
himself said that he's fine.
I saw the training videos, and
Yeah.
Eze, I saw him in the training, and he's fine.
Hmm.
Martinelli also was there in the training video; he was also fine. Saka was playing in that, so that's a good news. So these three
Hmm.
are back. Of course, no Timber was there, and Havertz looks like he's out for this Champions League game. But let's hope for the best, and if he's back next, I think that also is a good thing if we have him back for the Premier League run.
Super.
But I think I
Since
would expect
yeah,
Gyökeres to start next couple of games.
yeah. I don't think it will affect us that much. Havertz exclusion as of now, at least. Let's see.
Yeah, I think.
Uh,
So
yeah.
would you play Eze on the left? Is the question is would you play Eze on the left or Martinelli on the left?
It's clearly working. Odegaard and Eze, it's working. So I mean, Eze on the left. Uh, why not?
I think the
You had
reason why Mikel played Eze and then he played Odegaard, he played, of course, Zubimendi was on 100%, so he could change it. I think what was
hmm,
Newcastle one? He played midfield of Eze,
Kelly
Odegaard,
and
and Rice.
Rice, and Skelly came in later.
Yeah, yeah. So I was like, that means like, yeah, of course, Zubimendi comes back for the Champions League game. So again, Zubimendi, Rice, Odegaard, and Eze on the wings, maybe, and that might be the approach to go
Hmm.
forward.
Hmm. Maybe during the next game or something, we need to discuss about the minutes that Zubimendi has covered. People criticize Zubimendi, but then it's his first season and the number of minutes that he's covered, it's insane.
It's
Anyways,
just
wait.
insane. Like both
Yeah.
Rice and Zubimendi, and people talking about. I think these are workhorses. Oh my god, the
Hmm.
amount of football and they have to play the World Cup.
Exactly. And having
England's one of the most key player for England is Declan Rice, and it's going to be very, I think, uh, touch and go in terms of the number of matches that they're playing. And I think it's the same for a lot of other football clubs as well, but especially Arsenal because they the number of games that we have played. It's just crazy.
if there are even players getting injured, like Javi Simmons, I think he's out of the World Cup. Hugo Ekitike is out of the World Cup. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's
it's
unfortunate.
not, it's not a, yeah. This
Hmm.
is the problem, right? All those teams, especially, and again, Spurs didn't play the World Cup football, like Club World Cup, but a lot of these players who played the Club World Cup are also having a lot of issues. Like those are teams that got affected by injuries a lot. Chelsea got impacted, and same with
Hmm.
Liverpool. So I think that's a we always knew that the number of matches will someday start to add up, and that's what has
Yeah.
happened. And a lot of these injuries, I think Spurs having four ACL injuries. It's just crazy what's happening there at Spurs.
Since we are talking about Spurs and the Premier League, the next fixtures, the relegation battle, what do you think? Who makes it, and West Ham, who have the more difficult fixtures between West Ham and Tottenham?
I think
And
I'll let me just
because
quickly check the Premier League fixtures to be sure. But I think looking at the form table, I think when I'm looking at the form, West Ham looks more, I think, ready for this situation.
yeah,
I think they wanted a battle and they have it, and they've always been a team like that who likes a
yeah,
challenge.
yeah.
Spurs, a big team, they're not ready for these kind of challenges. They've never been ready, and so it's always going to be a big step up for them in terms of the pressure that they need to handle. Because last few weeks, because what has happened, Spurs won, but West Ham also went and beat Everton and won 2-1.
92nd
So
minute, Callum
these are
Wilson
the,
goal.
these are the
Yeah,
things that will keep happening going forward. I was
yeah.
looking at Spurs fixtures, and again they were supposed they had this problem with Wolves. They're not beaten Wolves for long, but now that they've beaten them, hopefully their first win will motivate them. But they have some. If you see the four fixtures that they have, all four of them are difficult.
Hmm.
Are not easy. They're tricky matches.
And they barely beat Wolves, by the way. There was a free
Yeah.
kick which he saved it. So it would have been insane, like if they would have drawn that match and West Ham won. Uh,
So
because
I'm
West
looking
Ham,
at Spurs.
yeah.
So
Hmm.
you tell me. Okay, they're playing Villa next.
Okay. Villa
I
are.
think I
I
and
I
Villa
can't I can't
away.
count on Villa at all. I
Yeah.
can't count on
So
Villa at all. They're like 50-50. Yeah.
then they're playing Leeds at home.
Leeds are now a good side. So that's a
Yeah.
difficult game again, 50-50.
Then
I,
they play
I don't see.
Chelsea away at
Chelsea
Stamford
will
Bridge,
win. Chelsea will win.
and then
100%.
they play Everton at home.
Difficult game again.
This
Yeah,
is
man, they're
you
screwed.
see what the challenge is.
Yeah, they're screwed.
And let's see what West Ham is up against. So West Ham, of course, they have a game against Arsenal, but before
Arsenal,
that they
yeah.
play Brentford. They play Brentford first,
Tough
difficult
game.
game.
Tough game. Yeah.
Then they have a game against Arsenal at, I think it's at the Olympic Stadium, so it's at home with against Arsenal. Then they have a
Huh.
away trip to Newcastle, and then they
Okay.
have the last game against Leeds. So Leeds is a deciding team. Leeds can
Hmm.
decide who's going to stay in. But
I
you can
think
see
West Ham versus
how
Leeds. West Ham versus Leeds. I'll go with West Ham. I don't know. Like
I don't know, but they're playing well at
yeah.
home, which is a good thing. And Spurs are feeling nervy at home. This is always a problem. If you are confident at your home ground, it gives you extra motivation to play and extra win chances to win.
The problem with Spurs being they have so many injuries right now. Who are they? Who will they? Which is 11 they're going to start? They just lost Javi Simmons as well. So
Yeah,
they're struggling with
and who
having
just
quality.
looked, yeah, he just looked good
Yeah.
now, started looking good, and then he
Yeah.
got
Exactly.
injured.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. I mean, I this is a Premier League battle, like battle for the ages, like the top
Yeah,
battle of the top two and the battle for relegation. We'll
the
quickly move
amount
to the
of
next topic
money,
because
yeah,
yeah,
the amount of money, by the way, Spurs are have on this one. I think
spent.
they have to be in the Premier League. It's going to be very
Yep.
yeah, difficult for them to be going down.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Let's see. After maybe a 1 or 2 game weeks, we can like have a proper discussion on this, like the finances and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah,
Yeah. Uh, we'll quickly move on to the next one because I think the games have started. Uh,
yeah,
the biggest news that has come lately: Jose Mourinho
yeah.
to Real Madrid.
And looks like he wants to move. He also wants to take up that role.
Yeah,
I,
and he's a
I
good
think
coach. Even
he's,
yeah,
of
Benfica.
course,
Yeah.
haven't lost under
Go
him.
on.
I think
Mm,
they haven't dropped a game, but I think from like you can see why he makes sense because he's a good man manager. Real Madrid doesn't need a coach, doesn't need a Xabi or and
mm,
Mikel
mm.
Arteta. There, they need a man manager who can motivate them, the main team. I think Mourinho fits that. Like nobody fits that better
Yeah.
than Mourinho. So I think
Mm,
this is a good, it's a good, and I think last couple of seasons have showed they have to win next season. I think
mm,
that's where they're reached now. They haven't done very well in the Champions League. They haven't done well in the league. So I think the pressure is just adding up. I think for a team like Madrid, it's I think Champions League is much more important than their La Liga because
La
of
Liga.
the competition that there's there in La Liga. But you
Mm,
see, they're having so many draws. That's big. That's been the challenge. They're drawing a lot of games, and yeah, I think. But Mourinho to Madrid, it's a good combination. Might not be for the
mm.
long term, but he would definitely bring out the best out of the players that they have.
Fair enough. The next next rumor. This is related to Arsenal.
Yeah, there's a lot of rumors going around
To
on
Arsenal. Yeah.
this guy, like Osimhen
Osimhen.
to
Yeah.
Arsenal. Again, I don't know. So Osimhen is a very different striker from Gyökeres,
Mm,
and this is exactly if you remember, like couple of streams back or 3 streams back, uh, we had a discussion, and this maybe it's in December that we had a discussion around, and I said this, I gave the statement where I said Gyökeres is not an Arsenal kind of striker. Isak is not a Liverpool
mhm,
kind of striker. I think both the clubs should have traded strikers there. I think Isak to Arsenal made more sense, and Gyökeres in a Liverpool team would make a bigger impact. And Osimhen again, Osimhen is I've seen a lot of games in the Champions League, and he's the driving force for Galatasaray as well. He's been the
mm,
difference maker. He's more of a player like a Zlatan Ibrahimovic who can change games on his own, not in just in terms of scoring those goals, but giving the assist as well. So of course
mm,
he's a high profile game player, and with he's going to bring in that baggage with him as well of his. I think the media is going to be scrutinizing him much more than Gyökeres. Gyökeres is still a
mm.
50 million striker, so there is a difference between him at 50 million and uh, Osimhen with all his wages
Osimhen.
and everything coming into play.
Yeah.
Of course,
They were talk.
what I've heard is Julian Alvarez is still our first preferred target. The price tag seems to be
Yeah.
around 120 million. Uh, but I think between them,
We
I
are
think
not.
my pick would be both of them are good. Julian
Yeah.
Alvarez perfectly replaces Gabriel Jesus, but I think if
Mm.
Osimhen is coming, I think we're going to sell Gyökeres.
Ah.
Yeah, I think that's what
What
is
about
going to happen.
yeah, you mean Isak and Gyökeres, right? So again, the price tag matters a lot. It's also like it's more than double what Isak would have costed. So
Yeah, I think
financially, I think Gyökeres make more sense.
correct because we wanted to invest in other parts of the pitch as well. We just could
Mm,
not have bought him for 120 million and then not spent somewhere
mm,
else. Since we had to
exactly.
fix other parts of the pitch, we had to get a Zubimendi in the midfield.
We
Like
got
Partey
both
was
for the
going
price
out.
of Isak, basically. Yeah,
Exactly,
Zubimendi and
exactly.
Gyökeres.
Yeah,
Yeah,
both were
so,
together were less than Isak's price tag. So
Isak. Yeah,
yeah, so I think
Osimhen,
we
more or
compromised
less.
there.
Hmm. Osimhen, more or less, it was like they were talking about attitude issues. Like he has got attitude issues and the fat wages. Other than that,
I
the
think
player is definitely good.
I was talking to one of my friends, as I told you, he's a Fenerbahce fan, but
Hmm.
he's talking very highly about Osimhen. That guy can make an impact, and he drives the team. He's motivating the team. So
Hmm.
of course, I think more than attitude, I think it's the the wages he's been earning tax-free wages in like
Hmm.
Istanbul, and
Yeah,
now
Turkey. Yeah.
so it's going to be he's going to be he's a premium player. Can
Hmm.
Arsenal afford a premium player? I think this is, even if we win the league this year, we start thinking about going forward. And I think you're going to see an Arsenal team is going to score more goals, and a lot of teams going to sit back as well. So it's I think you have to constantly keep evolving as a structure. And I think under Mikel, what we realize is no season is same as the previous one. We have constantly
Hmm.
changed our structure. We were a very like counter-attacking team when he initially came in. Then we went into full attack mode where we didn't care. We had a good defense, but we were still conceding goals to last couple of seasons where we have focused on playing effective football with a defensive mentality. So
Hmm.
I think that's something that has been constantly evolving under Mikel Arteta, this team, and I think it will keep evolving. I don't know. I personally think both Osimhen and Gyökeres in the same team, same squad doesn't work.
With Havertz as well. But then we will have Gabriel
I think we
Jesus
keep
definitely
Havertz.
going out.
I think Havertz is not going anywhere,
Yeah, but
and you
we
paid
will
more
see
for
we lose
Havertz.
Jesus. Hmm. We lose
Yeah,
Jesus
yeah.
though.
Gabriel is going into the last year, so I think most likely he's going. He's gone,
Y-
and
Yeah,
he's not
so
even
I
playing him
mean,
often.
we will need the striker. We will need that extra striker in Gyökeres because then we will. Havertz is right now on and off because of his injuries. So that will leave us without just Osimhen. And
You
what
know
happens
what
with if?
my you know what my thought was, and I was wondering about this. We are producing so many good midfielders and wingers,
Hmm,
and surprisingly, and some like we have good Mali Salman as defensive center back as well. He's a
yeah,
good center back, but we're struggling to get strikers into our picture. I think I don't know why we're not having strikers
we
even
did
in
have
our.
strikers. We did have strikers. Biret was
We
a
had
good one.
one good one. Who was it?
Mika Biret. Mika Biret.
Mika Bear was not good enough for sure at that time, and I think Balogun was better,
Balogun, yeah.
but he could
Even he
not
was there.
replicate it
Yeah.
at the higher level. Even
Hmm.
Nketiah was good at under 20s level, but again he could not replicate it at the higher level.
It's not even starting
Um,
now at Crystal Palace.
yeah, we had Chido
And
Obi Martin,
hmm,
and then
people
he
were
also
posting reels. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go on.
of course
Uh,
even Chido Obi Martin also hasn't clicked at Manchester United. So a lot of these
Yeah,
strikers are not able to replicate the levels.
yeah. The funniest part was people posting about Nketiah being technically more gifted, more superior than Gyökeres. Like after just recently, I mean, just last week or something, and people in the comments were like, "The guy is not even starting games, and you guys are talking about him being
Exactly.
better." Yeah,
Yeah, and I think this is just a joke. This is just a joke. And this
yeah,
just shows the lack of understanding of football that is there in our
yeah,
fan base. Sometimes I think sometimes people are just they want to vent out. Of course, I understand them because everybody's feeling the pressure. Nobody wants to be
yeah.
mocked at the end of the season. These fans know more like than that. Like, we have been constantly called as bottlers, and if you go, I when I walk into the office, if we win, in a given week, the office everybody comes to you and says, okay, team is. They don't talk to you that much about football, but if the team loses, they definitely come and make a point that the team has lost.
God, I mean, that's just how the media views as well.
But
They
I
just
don't know.
want
Again,
to
no, I
press
don't.
down.
I just don't understand why is this bias. I don't know. I don't feel the bias, but I think everybody wants Arsenal to fail.
Yep.
They want Arsenal to fail,
Um.
and I feel that that is kind of it is there is a that is a pressure that we are having, that they're expecting us to finish second again. But as per me, even finishing second this season, we were in doldrums. We were
Hmm.
between 8th to 15th before Mikel Arteta came,
In
and
the
now we're
beginning. Yep.
consistently
Yep.
challenging for things. I think this is a big. We have to see Arsenal as a big team on the European stage.
Yeah. The thing is, like you were saying, why are they mocking us the whole time? Thing is, when some people have just trash talked about a certain club for like so long, how can you expect them to now all of a sudden watch them thrive, watch them win something? They would rather
Hmm.
watch a club with 115 charges go on to win the Premier League than watch a club they genuinely hate. They have been hating their whole life. They have been talking trash about their whole life. Go on and win something. So I think it's just that. And the best answer to that would be winning trophy, so that
Yeah, I
the
think the Premier League trophy is the bigger one, bigger than Champions League for us right now. I think in terms of priority, I would prioritize Premier League over
Mhm.
Champions League as well. Because Champions League again is, as
And
you know, anything can happen.
yeah,
On a given day,
yeah.
any
So
team can
I
play
mean,
well and do well.
yeah, both would be great to be honest. Right now, we went from
Yeah,
quadruple
of
to
course,
now
of
like
course.
aiming from yeah. Uh, I think
Because
I think
we
that's
have
a
never won Champions League as well,
hmm.
so that's also going to be an achievement if we win it. If we
And
win
also
both,
about
that would be
Osimhen,
best.
exactly. And also about Osimhen, you're talking about wages, right?
Yeah,
Situation again, Ozil and Aubameyang, did fat wages he did, right? Both guys got
I
fatter wages. They all dropped.
I
They all
think
dipped.
I think with Ozil, the problem was never the wages. I think it was very clear that once he made that tweet about um, once he made a tweet about the Chinese Uyghur Muslims, I think they did not
Hmm.
he did not play after that. So I think it was more
Yeah.
that they didn't let Mikel Arteta use Ozil at all. Arsenal did not want to play him, the hierarchy. And
Ah.
with Aubameyang, it was different. But I think it was more of he still played better good football after that as well. Aubameyang, so he was good.
Hmm.
It's just that his attitude was the problem, and I think it
Hmm.
made sense in hindsight. It makes sense that they and I see
Yeah.
Harry Kane
And
has scored a penalty.
oof. Yeah, we saw that in the All or Nothing series as well about
Yeah,
problems between Mikel Arteta and Aubameyang. Any which ways. Yeah, we should get back to live games right now. Quick
yeah.
predictions between who's winning. Predictions for Bayern and PSG.
Just to give a we know that right now Bayern and PSG are playing at in Paris, and I think Bayern is leading 1-0. But I still think
Hmm.
I think it will be a surprise win, and Paris will go through.
Okay, comeback. I mean, that's one team I can root for to actually make a comeback, even in the second leg, even if they're down in the first
Exactly.
leg. That's a team that can actually make a comeback. Hmm. Yeah. So,
And between Atletico
uh,
and
Arsenal.
Arsenal, what is your pick?
I'd say just finish the game in the first leg. We are the superior team. We saw what they did
Yeah.
against, and yeah. So just finish the game in the first leg. There shouldn't be a game left worth playing for in the second leg, and that's just my opinion.
With the current form that we are in, it's I think we're going to be 1-0 in Madrid,
Hmm.
and then we come back and we just hold on to our dear lives and go through at 1-0.
Yeah, and then there will come Victor. You see the Arabic
Yeah.
music with the
But I think it will be and I was telling this, and a lot of people, lot of these big sports channels have put posters that one side it's a defensive draw between Atletico and Arsenal, and one
halal
side it's
football and
the
haram football.
attacking. Yeah, but I
Yeah,
would it will be so ironic, and I have saved and bookmarked those tweets because
yeah,
it will be very ironic if Atletico and Arsenal game has more goals than the PSG
than
Bayern Munich. And it can happen. Anything can
hmm,
happen in football. You never know.
unlikely to
So
be
if
honest
that
because
happens, I have it book.
yeah,
I have those. I have and all the pundits bookmarked.
you have receipts. Yeah,
I have the receipts for them.
yeah.
And all of these predictions that they and it's not about just predicting it. It's about how much belief they have in their predictions.
Hmm. That will be fun. Let's move on to the live games now. This was a great
Yep.
stream, and thank you for joining in. All those guys who did, I did see a few of them had joined in. Thank you for everyone who joined in, and do subscribe to our channel again. We are the UnTacticos, and please reach out to either of us if you'd like to join us in the next stream. And I think that's about it. Yeah, bye.
Bye guys. Ciao.